Hello. Happy birthday, Ma. It's a fitting day. It really is fitting. Hope you're enjoying your day, Ma. I wanted to use this day to fill in some blanks. I wanted to use this opportunity to fill in some blanks. And it just so happened to be my mother's birthday. So, with that said, I am going to definitely thank you, Ma. Thank you, Ma, for everything. Thank you for the pain. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the lessons. They've been priceless. They really have been priceless. For the longest, I didn't know how to love you. I didn't know how to take you. I didn't know how to just embrace you. I do remember that when I would try every now and then, it would be more or less I would get threatened almost. I do remember that. I'm just gonna leave it there and say that. But I thank you, Mom. I thank you, God, for showing me that I couldn't love anybody. I couldn't even love myself until I learned how to forgive and love my mother. Until I learned how to just appreciate the opportunity to even be here. So it took a long time, and I can honestly say it's still taking. But I think, like I said before, I think I'm good, and I think I recognize and realize everything I need to realize. So everything else I let stick to me is more or less it's just because I'm letting it stick to me. So I have to let go of all of that. So one thing I can say as I fill in, use this video as a fill in, use this video to fill in some pieces and some things that I won't say I omitted, but I just was trying to make sure that I touched them at the right time. But I have to go back a whole lot further than to back even with me and you before I move forward. So I, of course, I remember certain things, certain things I've been told by some people, family members, and friends that you know as well. And so, when you know of horrors, it can be haunting. But the untold horrors, the unknown horrors can be just as, scary. But I don't feel like because I feel like it was not me when I hear those stories. I gravitate to more what I felt for the stories I do remember. So, but nonetheless, they paint a real concise picture to the man I started as and the man I am today. So I definitely realized that, because I never really learned how to love as far as show affectionately. I do realize that it came out in a lot of other ways in my life. Some good, all of them is wound up being, all of them, well, some bad, and definitely some good. So, first, I think my first real brush with abuse came when I was with a childhood girlfriend of mine named Cynthia. My grandma didn't like Cynthia at all. My grandma didn't like Cynthia at all. I was, what, 14? Cynthia was 19. So, and that was probably my very, very first introduction into being responsible for helping pay bills. Yeah, that was my first introduction to paying bills and being responsible for helping maintain a household. And so she was from an alcoholic father. She was born of an alcoholic father. Her mother had passed. Her grandmother was alive. So some things are spotty. So I'm going to definitely speak on what I just know and what I remember. So I remember her and her dad used to always have fights, and I mean, like, very drawn out fights. And so I came into that situation, and it started real good between me and her. We started real good, but that her life spilled into my life, and my aggression was born in that relationship. So she was verbally abusive. I became physically abusive, and it would escalate numerous times. And at the time, I'm young. You hear people would. I definitely would say somebody definitely probably pulled my coat, but I wasn't ready to hear it at that time. I wasn't ready to hear anything at that time. So that was the first real moment that I can remember of any sort of physicality in a relationship that I was in. I went away. Actually, time went away. Time went down. We wound up not being together anymore. And so then fast forward to Emily, who's my oldest son, Mikey's mother. We were together. I don't remember if we had any. Oh my God, you're Puerto Rican. I'm pretty sure you had a mouth on you too. So, but I don't remember a lot of aggression on your part. I don't remember a lot of aggression on your part at all. But I would definitely say I would not be surprised if it was. But I have to next apologize to you. First of all, Cynthia, you passed on, so I ask for forgiveness from you. I ask for forgiveness from your spirit, or in general. So, Emily, I ask for forgiveness for you as well, because I just remember the carnage I caused. I don't remember too much of any of the beginning of it. I don't remember too much of what took place after it. I just remember the bruises in my head. I don't remember too much of anything but just the bruises in my head. And it's always been something I always wish that as I've gotten older and I realized, I wish it was something I could undo or do anything. Of course, we've been moved on and had these conversations and cried over all this before together. But I always want you to know that the pain is always with me when I think about it. The other relationship that, of course, I always ask for forgiveness from you, Emily. The next relationship that I remember, the only other relationship that I remember being physical with is with Lynn. Rest in peace to you. And Lord knows you carry it with you every step of the way, even in forgiveness. It's something you really couldn't. Never, I never blamed you for never really being able to forgive, even when you thought you could. I don't blame you at all, because the carnage that lived with you for years after, years and years and years, and it probably kept you from even moving on in your life, or really being able to find peace and happiness in your life. So I can't even begin to imagine, you know, the the the, the pain. We've spoke about it, you know, but like I said, I can tell even to your last your last wishes. You know, I can tell you had pain against me, and feelings, and you know, and I honestly tell every man that I know, every man I don't know, every man that hears my voice, you know, we have a job, and that's protect the woman. If there's a woman in your life that that's that you're not gelling, that she's verbally abusive, you physically abusive, you're fussing and fight word cases. If the tension is there already, it's nothing. No more has to be done but to undo it. That's the only thing you do. You got to separate. You got to figure out either you're going to have to figure out how to fix it right then and there, or separate. People are leaving here. People are leaving here every day. Men are going out and killing women and kids because whatever reason, relationships didn't work, and vice versa. And it's if you love them or leave them alone. And there's no such thing as loving them a little bit or loving them sometimes. You gotta love them all the time or leave them alone. Certain things are not meant to be. Certain things go the way they go for a reason. Certain things has to be moved on. Certain things have to be left alone. And my children, I want y'all to know, and I want y'all to know that that's not a relationship. That's not love. If you are in a relationship, especially my daughter, if you're in a relationship anybody anybody wants to cause you any pain, baby, that is not love. That's not love. I thought, and I can honestly say myself, I loved every one of them women, but if it's times that I can say, I wasn't showing them. If that's what I was doing, I wasn't showing them I loved them at them times, at them points. So, my baby girl, if someone loving you like that, or even attempting to love you like that, that's not the person you need to have in your life. And my men, my young men, my sons, every one of y'all have a streak of aggression in y'all. Every one of y'all do. Mikey, you're probably the most humble out of all of them. You're probably one with the least mean streak in you. But son, and I know this will never be an issue for you, but same for you, son. You know, you just always make sure that you love a woman. Love a woman. I definitely know that won't be an issue for you. Brian, Lord knows I showed you a lot of aggression. A lot of aggression. And as I told you many times, and when we sat down and spoke, son, that's your family. You gotta protect that family. You got to protect them from everything outside that household. And you can't be the monster in that household. And Mikhail, you are a thinker like your dad. I love you. You're a thinker. You definitely have streaks that show that you can have something brew up in you and it boil over. The sun. Told you before. Make sure you got always have an outlet, but you always never let no one push your button, especially where you're trying to go, things you're trying to accomplish. You can never let nobody, no man, no woman, direct or dictate your response to anything. You know, like I said, I want to use this video as a fill-in. I'm pretty sure I went over things or under things and backwards a few times, but I just wanted to get it out and speak to the things that have to be spoken about. You know, and my siblings, the men in my family, you already know. We already know what we've seen, because the same thing I went through, I'm pretty sure some of y'all went through. Maybe not the same degree, but definitely y'all went through it, you know. But same thing with you all, and even the men I don't know. Hey, it's about keeping our family, our loved ones safe. We can't be the monster in them households at all. And like it began, I love you, Mom. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Mom. You gotta soften up, woman. You gotta soften up, woman. You keep a lot of stuff in you. You are safe that if you ever get that cracked, you ever get my mother cracked, that's talking about a story. Oh my God. That's a thug, woman. That's a thug right there. Love you, Ma. Happy birthday.